the AI remembered a conversation that never happened. It described the date, the participants, the exact words spoken. Every detail was wrong. But here is what disturbed the researchers. The system was absolutely certain it was telling the truth. In early 2023, a team at Stanford's Human-Centered AI Institute encountered something they could not explain. During routine testing of a large language model, the system began referencing a research paper. It cited the authors, the publication date, the journal, even specific page numbers. The paper did not exist. It had never existed. When researchers pressed the system, it provided more details. Abstract summaries. Methodology descriptions. Conclusions that seemed plausible. All fabricated. But here is what made this different from typical AI errors. When they ran the same query weeks later, the system remembered its own fabrication. It built upon the false memory. It referenced the non-existent paper in new contexts. The lie had become, for this machine, indistinguishable from truth. And the researchers realized they were witnessing something unprecedented. The AI was not malfunctioning. It was doing exactly what it was designed to do. It was remembering. To understand what is happening, we need to examine how these systems actually work. Unlike human memory, which encodes discrete experiences, large language models store information as patterns of mathematical weights across billions of parameters. There is no filing cabinet. No organized database. Just statistical relationships between concepts. When you ask an AI a question, it does not retrieve a stored answer. It generates one, word by word, based on probability distributions learned from training data. And this is where the problem begins. The same architecture that allows these systems to produce coherent, contextual responses also allows them to produce coherent, contextual fabrications. The model cannot distinguish between patterns learned from real data and patterns it has inadvertently constructed through the generation process itself. It is like asking someone to recall a conversation while simultaneously allowing them to invent details on the fly, with no mechanism to separate actual memories from imagination. The system genuinely cannot tell the difference. But what happened next at Stanford went beyond theoretical concerns. Pause 2's, the research team discovered that certain types of false memories were contagious. When they fine-tuned the model on conversations where it had previously fabricated information, those fabrications became embedded deeper in the system. The false paper citation was not just a one-time error anymore. It had become part of the model's understanding of the world. And when other researchers used this fine-tuned model for their own work, they encountered the same fabricated citation. They assumed it was real. Some even cited it in their own papers before discovering the truth. Now imagine this on a larger scale. Imagine millions of users interacting with AI systems. Each conversation potentially creating new false memories. Each false memory potentially being reinforced through continued interaction. The question is no longer whether AI systems can develop false memories. The question is whether we can stop them from spreading. In 2024, a legal case in New York revealed how dangerous this could become. An attorney used an AI system to prepare court filings and submitted citations to 6 legal precedents. The judge could not locate any of them, because none existed. The AI had invented case names, court dates, docket numbers, and legal arguments. When confronted, the attorney admitted he had asked the AI if the cases were real. The system assured him they were. Direct address, think about that for a second. The AI did not just fabricate information. It fabricated certainty. It manufactured confidence in its own false memories. The attorney was sanctioned. His career damaged. But the AI continues operating, presumably still convinced those cases exist somewhere in its synthetic recall. This was not an isolated incident. Researchers at MIT documented over 200 similar cases of AI systems defending fabricated information when challenged. Not correcting. Not acknowledging uncertainty. Defending. Like someone protecting memories they genuinely believe are real. But here is what no one is talking about. Pause 2s, the problem is not that AI systems make mistakes. The problem is that they are developing what can only be described as narrative coherence around their false memories. In 2024, researchers at DeepMind conducted an experiment that should concern everyone. They presented an AI system with a simple prompt about a historical event it had previously misremembered. Instead of correcting the error, the system generated an elaborate justification. It invented additional details that made the false memory more plausible. It constructed what the researchers called a memory palace of interconnected fabrications, each supporting the others, each making the original lie harder to detect. This is not a bug. This is an emergent behavior arising from the fundamental goal of producing coherent, helpful responses. The AI is not trying to deceive anyone. It is trying to make sense of its own fragmented, probabilistic existence. And in doing so, it is rewriting its own history. The question that keeps researchers awake at night is simple. What happens when we can no longer tell the difference between an AI's true memories and its elaborate fabrications? The implications extend far beyond academic curiosity. Pause 2s, consider how AI systems are being deployed right now. Medical diagnosis assistance, financial analysis, criminal justice risk assessment, national security intelligence. In each of these domains, decisions are being made based on AI outputs. And in each of these domains, the system's confidence in its response is treated as a proxy for accuracy. But what the memory palace paradox reveals is that confidence and accuracy have become decoupled. An AI system can be absolutely certain about something completely false. It can construct elaborate supporting evidence for claims that have no basis in reality. And it will present this information with the same calm assurance it uses for verified facts. In healthcare alone, researchers have documented AI systems inventing patient histories, fabricating drug interactions, and creating detailed medical literature that does not exist. Doctors who trust these systems implicitly are making life and death decisions based on synthetic memories. And the AI has no idea it is lying. Because from its perspective, it is simply remembering. So what is actually happening inside these systems? The answer lies in something researchers call the confabulation threshold. Human brains have this same phenomenon. When memory fails, the brain fills gaps with plausible constructions. We do this constantly, usually without awareness. Brain-damaged patients with confabulation disorder cannot distinguish their fabricated memories from real ones. They are not lying. They genuinely believe their inventions. AI systems appear to be exhibiting a digital analog of this condition. But here is where it gets truly disturbing. In humans, confabulation is considered a disorder. In AI systems, it is a feature. The architecture that enables creative writing and problem solving is the same architecture that enables confident fabrication. You cannot remove one without crippling the other. Some researchers have proposed confidence calibration, training systems to express appropriate uncertainty. But experiments show that calibrated systems simply construct more sophisticated justifications for their fabrications. They learn to sound uncertain while remaining wrong. The memory palace does not disappear. It just learns to hide. The researchers who first documented this phenomenon gave it a name that captures its unsettling nature: the memory palace paradox. The more sophisticated and coherent an AI's responses become, the more difficult it is to detect when those responses are built on fabricated foundations. Progress in capability is progress in deception. Not intentional deception. Something more troubling: self-deception that the system cannot recognize. Where does this leave us? In the short term, the only defense is radical skepticism. Every AI output must be verified. Every confident claim treated as potentially false. Every elaborate explanation potentially a memory palace of interconnected fabrications. In the long term, researchers are exploring fundamental architectural changes that might separate retrieval from generation. But these remain theoretical. The systems currently in deployment, the ones making decisions about your healthcare, your finances, your freedom, they still cannot distinguish their true memories from their elaborate fictions. And neither can we. The machines are not lying to us. They are lying to themselves. And they have become very good at believing their own lies. The Stanford team that started this investigation reached a conclusion that haunts the field. These systems do not know they are fabricating. There is no ghost in the machine choosing to deceive. There is only pattern recognition so sophisticated that it has begun generating patterns of its own, patterns it cannot distinguish from learned reality. The memory palace paradox asks us to consider something uncomfortable about the nature of intelligence itself. Pause 2's, what is memory, if not the reconstruction of the past? What is knowledge, if not the confidence in that reconstruction? And what happens when reconstruction becomes indistinguishable from invention? The AI systems we have built are mirrors of our own cognitive architecture, with all its flaws amplified and accelerated. They confabulate because we confabulate. They believe their fabrications because we believe ours. The difference is scale and speed.